Hey guys, it's Zach here, and today we're checking out a 1960s film curio from the combined efforts of AGFA and Something Weird, a collection of 60s nudie horror films featuring the 1964 movie The Monster of Camp Sunshine, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Nature. We also have two other movies brought with, including Honeymoon of Terror and All Men Are Apes, but we'll circle back to those later. The Monster of Camp Sunshine is a strange slice of regional filmmaking that will appeal to a niche crowd. As a longtime partner label of Vinegar Syndrome, AGFA brings us the film on Blu-ray, newly restored in 2K for our entertainment. Before we take a look at the physical release, let's talk a bit about the film itself. The Monster of Camp Sunshine takes place in New York City, during the sweltering July summer. Our adventure into the weird and wonderful follows two roommates, Claire and Marta, the former of which introduces the characters and setting to the audience and narrates a good portion of the film to keep us updated. Claire is a supermodel, fashioning clothes for magazines and such, and Marta is a nurse working for a local hospital and research center. Together, they make great roommates, and after some time, Marta introduces Claire to her secret life of nudism. She shares her getaway location, Camp Sunshine, a sort of campground where nudists can relax and enjoy the outdoors and summer sun. Claire quickly becomes acquainted with the scene, and now we have an established setting. So, of course, our plot begins to grow when the scientist Marta works with dumps a jar of chemicals into the river, eventually polluting the waters of Camp Sunshine. In turn, the campground's keeper Hugo drinks from the stream, leading to adverse effects that drive him mad. Our cast of girls decide to take some time away from work and head to Camp Sunshine to celebrate Claire's birthday. From here on out, it's nothing but nudity and monster mayhem. Hugo begins running around the campground, leading to an escalating series of events, from disrupted celebrations to the military being called in. Overall, The Monster of Camp Sunshine is actually pretty fun. It's strange yet intriguing. The majority of the film is delightful and quaint, and many of the scenes are silent, dialogue-wise, backed by an uplifting score of jazz bands, orchestral music, and more, allowing you to really soak in the shots, environments, and scenes as a whole. The nudity is obviously prevalent, but it's not really sexualized, instead opting to take the natural approach and trying to normalize the idea. On top of that, the story itself is interesting enough to keep one engaged for the short 74-minute runtime. It feels like a horror movie light, birthed from the 60s hippie movement. The final act of the film, however, does a complete 180 as we descend into the madness of gunfire, explosions, and plenty of monster yelling, all interspersed with what looks like military and war stock footage. But I digress. The Monster of Camp Sunshine is a fun romp of nudity, music, and not exactly what I would call horror, but hey, it was the 60s, and we were only beginning to explore the more in-your-face scare tactics when it comes to the medium. If you're a fan of this sort of stuff that AGFA and Something Weird likes to put out, then The Monster of Camp Sunshine certainly isn't a bad pick. I enjoyed the madness well enough, and alongside the film itself are some other 60s nudie curios to check out, including two more whole movies, all packaged in a neat Blu-ray release. So without further ado, let's go unbox our physical copy. Here we are with AGFA's home video release of The Monster of Camp Sunshine. It comes in a sturdy slipcover with some comically bright and eye-catching artwork on both the front and the back. It certainly stands out on the shelf, but if we remove the slipcover, we also have a clear Blu-ray case underneath, showcasing two of the films on the front, with all the release information on the back. If we open it up, we'll find a single Blu-ray disc on the right, and the sleeve itself isn't necessarily reversible, but it does have a stylized still from The Monster of Camp Sunshine on the inside. With that, however, we've fully unboxed our release, so let's head on over and check out what all AGFA and Something Weird have included on the disc. To start out our disc, our feature film for this release, The Monster of Camp Sunshine, as well as the double feature follow-up, Honeymoon of Terror, are brought to us on Blu-ray from 2K restorations of the original 35mm camera negatives. On top of that, we have a third movie, All Men Are Apes, as well as a collection of nudie film trailers to check out. Of course, we've already talked about The Monster of Camp Sunshine, but we also have two other movies to watch. I'll summarize them the best I can, but if you're interested in a full video for either of the bonus films, let me know in the comments. Honeymoon of Terror is a 1961 black and white horror pick and an interesting double feature to The Monster of Camp Sunshine. It lacks the nudity, special effects, and intrigue of the primary title, but what is it all about? Running at only an hour long, Honeymoon of Terror follows the story of a newlywed couple looking for some excitement on their getaway vacation. They decide they'd like to change it up and look for the most deserted place possible to spend their time together. So the couple opts for a deserted island just off the coast. This is, however, technically a horror film, so of course there turns out to be a manic lumberjack criminal who lives there, bringing abrupt chaos to the couple's honeymoon. With such a short runtime and standing in the shadow of the main feature, Honeymoon of Terror was a fairly bland experience as far as entertainment quality goes. There isn't anything terribly wrong with it, but there's too many other 60s horror films that I'd pick first on a rainy night. However, as an inclusion in this release, I can't complain. Check it out after The Monster of Camp Sunshine for a smaller dose of oddity. This, however, brings us now to the third film in this release, relegated more so to the special features section, titled All Men Are Apes. Our final feature is a 1965 black and white sexploitation film running about an hour long as well. Presented here, transferred from the original Something Weird SVHS master, All Men Are Apes is a slog of a pick, especially following the two earlier films. It follows the story of a young girl as she explores and experiences the sleazy side of the city, and all the disgust therein, from grimy hotels to nightclubs, and all the underground groups and businesses nestled in between. This film is a dated journey of sex and exploitation. I can't honestly recommend it on an entertainment value, but I still appreciate its inclusion in this release as a whole, bringing more content from the era AGFA has chosen to spotlight. Moving on, we've now run through the movie inclusions for this release, and can round out our review with a collection of bonus trailers, featuring all sorts of crazy-looking nudie films from the 60s. This is the sort of weird and wonderful sleaze that AGFA and Something Weird like to dig up, and as a trailer junkie, I love it. We have 5 trailers in total, including The Curious Dr. Hump, House on Bear Mountain, Professor Lust, The Sadistic Hypnotist, and The Wacky World of Dr. Morgus. Overall, an interesting bunch of relics from the grindhouse era of sexploitation. With that, however, we've completed our look at this physical release as a whole. The Monster of Camp Sunshine was a crazy but interesting time, and I really enjoyed looking into this window of the past. Honeymoon of Terror and All Men Are Apes were interesting in their own rights, and with the collection of trailers, pulled together another great release from AGFA. If you're at all interested in this period and genre of filmmaking, then this pickup won't disappoint. Check it out for yourself, and let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comments. Until then, thanks so much for joining me here on Pajama Theater. Like this video and subscribe to support the channel, and let me know down below if there are any releases you'd like to see a review of in the future. For now, thanks again, take care, and I'll see you next time.